Greetings, Internet. Today we're going to go over the bass on the song Superficialstition by the band 86th, and let's show you where we started and where we ended up. We'll go through a quick breakdown of the processing. All right, so here's where the bass started. And here's where it ended up. All right, so we've got on there the Softube Tape, Softube Equalizers, the SSL Channel Strip 2, and the Waves F6 RTA. What we're doing mostly with this bass, it's pretty well tracked. Just basically taming dynamics, adding a little bit of saturation, and then getting sort of the low and the meat to sort of glue together and get rid of some of that string rattle. So we'll go through all that. Let me just clear us out. All right, and to start, we are going to start with the Softube Equalizers. All right, we're going to do a little bit of dynamics control. We're actually going to boost we're going to do some dynamics boost on the low end, and then what we're going to do is actually bring down, once the volume goes up on the bass, it's actually going to bring it back to 0, but while the notes are softer, it's actually going to bring up the low, and that's going to tap that down. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit play. We're going to create a shelf here. We go roughly where the low end really starts jumping out at you. And then we're going to turn on dynamics. And we're actually going to go into a negative ratio and bring down that threshold. Actually, bring the attack. Bring down that threshold. After that, we're going to do a low pass. Get rid of some high end that we don't want. Next up, we're going to actually do another dynamic band here, and we're going to be taming. See that string rattle? We're going to get rid of that. So we're going to take that off. And narrow that down a little bit. Speed up the attack. That's about it. So for the most part, we're just sort of evening out the sound a little bit, getting a little bit of that rattle. Next up, we're going to use the SSL Channel 2. And we're just going to be doing some dynamics processing. All right, so let's go on that. 3-to-1 ratio. Keep the release at 0.1. And just start dragging the threshold down until we get some blinking into 6. That's all we're doing here. All right, next up is going to be the fun bit, and this is going to be it's a bit of an experiment with the F6. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to work on bands 3, 4, and 5. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into band 2, we're going to go into band 3. We're going to be listening to the sort of somewhere in the 200 range and be playing around with sort of the meat, just those low mids that sort of stick out in the mix on cheaper sound systems and smaller speakers. So we're going to play with that. Then we're going to go through, again, about 500-600 hertz, somewhere around there, and play, well, actually it might be higher than that, about 1,000 hertz, and sort of play with some of the tone there, also dynamically. And then we're going to go in the 5th band and play with that string rattle some more if we need to. All right, so here we go. So I'm going to solo this band. And then I'm going to sweep around. Right about there. Wind this. All right, I'm just going to range on there. Speed up the attack. Speed up this release. Now we're going to boost this. Now, obviously, it's going to be a little too much if we just left the boost. So this is just sort of bringing up the average. So as the notes get hit full volume, it's actually going to bring it back down to the 0 line. And then when he lets off the notes a little softer dynamically, it's going to fill in a little bit more. So what we're going to do is then play with this threshold. Just sort of smacking right around 0. Now I'm going to bypass this and let you listen. So it just makes it a little bit warmer. Plays with phasing, well, quite a bit, but sounds good. All right, we're going to do the same thing here. I'm going to take a listen. All right. And then we're going to do again a -8 on the range. Keep these about the same. All right. You do the same thing, do a nice little boost. Obviously, you don't want that all the time, so we're just going to crank this down till it's about 0 again. All right, take a listen again. Then we're going to take this. Here's our peak right around where these are. It's actually right there. All right, we're going to speed this up. Do this about -8. The same thing. Okay, here's without. Here's with. So that's most of the sound that we're dealing with in their tonality. The bass actually comes from here. And next up, we're going to just, that last little bit, we're going to add some tape. Keep it pretty standard. I just want a little bit of saturation there. And that's about it. So let's mix this in with the drums that we've done so far. And there you go. That's a quick tutorial on some bass. Hope you guys learned something, and we'll see you next time. If you need anything mixed or mastered, you know who to talk to. Thank you very much. Bye.